Arizona Cardinals and the Detroit Lions. The Cardinals, 12.5 point to 13 point road favorites, 47.5 your total. Of course, the big news coming out this week here. The Cardinals likely to be playing the rest of their season without DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins, late in the game this past week against the Rams, had a defender land on both of his legs, hurt his knee. They have been, and listen, to their credit to the Cardinals, they have been, this is consistency with them, right? Like they have been overly cautious with their big name players. If a guy gets hurt, we saw Kyler Murray probably sit out a week longer than he really had to. They did the same thing with DeAndre Hopkins the first time around with his injury. And so I believe that he will probably not play the rest of this season for them. That being said, of all the wide receiver rooms, I mean, this one is at least fairly deep, right? I mean, you do have AJ Green, you do have Chris Kirk, you do have Rondell Moore, you do also have Zach Ertz they went and traded for at the tight end position. James Conner is out there catching balls like he's friggin' Larry Fitzgerald and everything. So, I mean, all things considered, you certainly want to have DeAndre Hopkins out there. That's not what I'm saying. But, I think that you can maybe withstand him having to sit out until the playoffs roll around in this one. Steven, I'll start here with you. Look, it's nearly 2 touchdowns. It's another one of those things where I'm saying, like, I could probably only lay it. I don't want to take points with the Detroit Lions ever. I mean, it's just they're, even with the injury on the Arizona side, I mean, they're just so completely outgunned in this thing. They're so completely outmanned. It's just 13 is just a lot to lay. So I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do.
You sound so like just upset about the whole thing.
I feel like I should want to take the 13 points with the Lions, but then it's just like I would be taking 13 points with a team led by Jared Goff, and then I would just feel so stupid whenever he throws 2 pick sixes in the game or something.
Dan the Man Campbell, dude. I mean, come on. He's been covering big spreads all season. But I agree with you, though. I mean, this is not the same Detroit team. I mean, they are just completely decimated. The line did come down from 14. So if it got back to 14, I might, think about it, throw a half unit on there for fun, just to, support our man, Dan Campbell. But I am curious. One player prop I am curious about to see when the market's open here to see if they adjust to it yet is Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Detroit Lions. He's had 12 targets in back-to-back games here. He's kind of the JV Cooper Kupp now for Jared Goff in this offense. It coincided with, I think, not just the receiver issues and TJ Hawkinson being banged up, but DeAndre Swift not being in the offense anymore is when his receiving totals really went up. So going to be looking to maybe dabble in that if we get something like I don't know if we'll get it, but maybe a 4.5 for receptions. Maybe we can get an over on that. For the Cardinals, it's going to be tough to back them as big favorites here for the rest of the season until I see something better, because I know it's a small sample, but Brad, I'm curious what you think. The last 2 games for them, Kyler Murray in this offense hasn't been the elite offense that we've seen. They've been outside the top 10 in EPA and success rate. So no bet for me here in this game, but I want to see more from Arizona here down the stretch, even without DeAndre Hopkins.
Brad, I think the only thing too, I guess we could keep into consideration here with the big number, like I said, I mean, we have seen Cliff Kingsbury be very conservative, right, with his players. And I think, there is a decent chance that they get up in this game and you're up 21 points or something like that. And you do see Colt McCoy in the game. You do see the backup running backs and the backup wide receivers and the backup key skill position, key guys on the defensive side. So I think the back door might always be open here for the Lions. And so there's, I guess, at least that angle to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I do think the Lions are a good team to back, as these big underdogs. They proved it obviously this season. But, even last week, they're coming off their first win. They're riddled with COVID and flu all week. They're banged up. They've got no skill players. And I think that they're down 3 or so at half time. They come out, they throw an interception. Broncos score a touchdown. Yeah. They come out, they go for it on 4th down from their own 30 or so, and they lose it. Broncos score a touchdown. And the game gets out of control. Yeah. But A, it showed to me they're playing hard, but B, they're still trying to win, right? Even with, that's about as bad a spot as you could be put in. And they're still out there going for it on 4th down to actually try and win the game. So I think they're a little bit healthier this week. The offensive line is still good. Penei Sewell is literally one of the best tackles in the NFL by PFF grade already. So they should get some push off the ball, maybe in the interior as well. As for the Cardinals, it's probably a little letdown spot after that big Monday night game. I still trust the Cardinals offense. I think obviously Aaron Donald, he was playing against the backup guard and he just wrecked that game plan last week. So I'm not too worried about them long term, but I would say I would wait for a 14 on the Lions. I'm not too eager to jump in at 13. And I think you might get it. Obviously we saw last week these big favorites go 10 and 2 against the spread or whatever it was. So there's going to be some public money, going to have some money in their pockets and going back to the well. And so we might get a little bonus point or two on some of these big dogs, I think.
Yeah. 14,
Matt, one last prop here. Yeah, I'm sorry, Matt. One last prop here. If James Conner is out and they activate Chase Edmonds, he got a ton of run here even early in the season when James Conner was around. So those reception totals or rushing yards totals might be too low for him. So keep an eye out for Chase Edmonds.